Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff reflects on Wimbledon upset before Cincinnati Open rematch. 1 week ago, Coco Gauff lost in the National Bank Open in Montreal. But as she goes through the Cincinnati Open, she looks back at her most disappointing loss. In June, number 2 Gauff lost in the first round at Wimbledon to number 42 Diana Yastremska. Now she is set to take on Yastremska in the third round at Cincinnati. She defeated Wang Xinyu 6-3, 6-2 in the second round on Sunday. Gauff is looking ahead to the challenge with the proper mindset, per Peter Lynch of the Tennis Gazette. "I don't ever think of revenge-type tennis," she said. "At first I used to think like that, but then I am like I have to play too many people too many times to have a revenge mindset. I think for me it's a good measure to see where my game is. I thought that Wimbledon match was a tough loss for me, and I don't think I approached it well." Upon reflection, Gauff compliments Yastremska for being a formidable opponent. "I always have trouble against her. She is a tough opponent. Great ball striker who can pull winners out of anywhere," she said. "So it will be a tough test for me, especially having to play her again. But I think I have had more time to work on things in the hard court season, and I definitely think it's a better surface than grass for me." As for the upcoming match, Gauff exuded confidence in her abilities. "So it's going to be a tough match, but I am looking forward to it, and hopefully I can do better than Wimby," Gauff said. Gauff is looking to recapture the magic she had in winning in the French Open. Coco Gauff at the Cincinnati Open. In 2023, Gauff won her first Cincinnati Open, her first WTA 1000 singles title. The victory opened the door into what Gauff had in the making as a top-notch professional player. A few weeks later, Gauff dramatically won the U.S. Open. In 2024, Gauff lost in the third round of the Cincinnati Open to Yulia Putintseva, 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. It was also during the Cincinnati Open that Gauff solidified herself as a fashion icon. This year, she represented two brands, New Balance x Miu Miu collaboration. From grass to grit, Coco Gauff's emotional odyssey. She stepped onto that grass, Wimbledon's storied courts, still basking in the afterglow of Roland Garros. Coco Gauff, number 2 in the world, arriving fresh from her French Open triumph over Aryna Sabalenka, carried the expectations of fans, pundits, and herself. Yet beneath the poised exterior, a tempest of emotion swirled. Gauff later admitted feeling mentally overwhelmed, sensing she hadn't had time both to celebrate and to prepare for Wimbledon. People.com. UPI. The match was touching distance before the curtains closed. 9 double faults, 29 unforced errors, and a stinging 7-6-3, 6-1 defeat at the hands of Diana Yastremska. A shocking exit that left her stunned, tearful, and forced to confront her limits on grass. People.com. Houston Chronicle. Afterward, the locker room became a rare sanctuary of vulnerability. "I don't like losing," she confessed, wiping tears that mixed frustration with heartbreak. UPI. The Sun. She reflected on the significance of Wimbledon, anchor of her earliest Grand Slam memories, where at 15 she made her debut and reached the fourth round. That run had seemed dreamlike, fueling the belief she belonged among the elite. Spectrum Local News. AJC. Yet now, the dream felt elusive, a reminder of unfinished business rather than triumph. Inside the press room, visible disappointment met steely resolve. She spoke of resetting, not dwelling, but learning. There was courage in acknowledging her struggles, of feeling a little bit disappointed in how I showed up today, while still offering a smile to the future. Houston Chronicle. The Sun. Days later, on the hard courts of the Cincinnati Open, destiny delivered a potential reckoning. Rematch. Across the net stood Yastremska, the architect of her Wimbledon heartbreak. But Gauff's mindset had shifted profoundly. She didn't frame it as revenge, not in the cold vengeance of sport, but as a test of growth. She explained it's not a mindset of retaliation, but a chance to see where her game stands. Yastremska, she acknowledged, is a formidable opponent, a great ball striker, one who could pull winners out of anywhere. Essentially sports. That sentiment resonates with something deeper. Gauff embracing maturation, moving from reaction to reflection, from emotional rawness to strategic calm. The grass may still be a reluctant friend, but the hard courts bring renewed control, familiarity, and potential. She arrived in Cincinnati armed not just with shots, but self-awareness. The emotional arc, key moments. Triumph and fatigue. The brief window between French Open euphoria and Wimbledon's nerves proved a battleground of the soul. Victory and pressure collided, unbalanced. Wimbledon, a mirror of doubt. The early exit reflected not just physical fatigue but internal imbalance. Gauff's inner voice, her team's expectations, and the weight of history converged on those grass blades. Tears that teach. Tears, often misunderstood as weakness, became for Gauff a crucible for clarity. A moment where insecurity met courage, and letting down her guard became the first step to finding resilience. Hard court reckoning. The Cincinnati rematch embodies continuity and redemption. It's proof that sport's cyclical turns can also be leaps forward when one meets them with awareness, not anger. Creative perspective, beyond the headlines. Imagine Gauff walking off Wimbledon's center court, the familiar echo of applause fading, replaced by the hum of doubt. She carries the ghost of Paris in her bag, along with hope, but finds that the hustle of press, celebration, and turnover left her hollowed out. There, in the locker room's harsh fluorescent glow, she glimpses that tennis is as much about managing exhaustion of spirit as it is of body. Fast forward, the Cincinnati sky. The summer sun warms the hard court, and Gauff steps into a different rhythm. She breathes deeply, tuning into the feel of her racket. The balls bounce, not the scoreboard. Facing Yastremska again, she carries with her the pain of disappointment, but also its lessons. The importance of transition, the value of emotional recovery, and the power of intention. In that moment, she embodies every athlete's greatest truth. Setbacks are not exits, they are waypoints. And the real championships are often won in the spaces between intense encounters, in the reflection that follows reckoning. This creative essay captures Gauff's emotional journey, from the intensity of a sudden Wimbledon exit to the introspective readiness for rematch, and paints a vivid portrait of resilience, maturity, and possibility.